For number 1, I would start by placing the 0. And to place the 0, I would do it here, and then do 1, -2, -5. You can put dots or not, that's whatever you want to do. The absolute value of 3 is just, -3 is just 3. The absolute value of 9 is just 9. The absolute value, so for number 4, we're gonna start with the absolute values of those two. So it's gonna be 13 plus the absolute value of -2, which is 2, which gives us 15. And then we're gonna do the same thing for number 5, so the absolute value of -12 is 12, minus the absolute value of 8, which is 8, and 12 minus 8 is 4. To solve number 6 and 7, we're going to use the number line. So number 6, we're going to start on the number line at -4, and then we're going to add 2. So we're going to go right 2. So 1, 2, which gives us -2. Number 7, we're going to start at 1, and then we're going to add -4. So since it's negative, we're going to go backwards 4. So backwards 1, 2, 3, 4 gives us -3. For these problems, 8 through 14, we're just going to be doing it like we would do it in class. So starting with number 8, 12 minus or plus -7 would be 5. And then we're going to go to number 9. It's going to be -15 or -55 plus 15, which is going to be -40. Number 10, we have -9 plus 8, it's -1. For number 11, we have -3 plus -6. So we're going to start at -3 and move back 6 more, so it's going to be -9. Number 12 is -15 minus -2. So it's a subtraction problem, so we're going to rewrite it as an addition problem. So we're going to turn the subtraction to a positive and the negative to a positive 2. So -15 plus 2 is -13. I'm going to do the same thing for number 13. So 10 plus positive 25 gives me 35. And then -4 minus 36, we're not changing. We could change that into an addition problem as well. So -4 plus -36. So we're going to move back 36 more from -4, so we're going to get -40. So we're going to use the commutative property for number 15 to move around those numbers and rewrite the expression so it's easier for mental math. For me personally, it's easier to do 16 plus 4 because that gives me 20, and then I'm going to add the -1. So we're going to put that there. And then the sum of that is going to be 19. The first thing we have to do on this page is fill in the table. So we're going to do, it just wants us to say whether the product or the quotient will be negative or positive. So a positive integer divided by a negative integer is going to give me a negative integer. If we multiply a negative integer times a negative integer, I'm going to get a positive product. Now the next one's a little tricky. It's going to be -2 to the 3rd power. So that's multiplying -2 by itself 3 times. So -2 times -2 times -2. So since I have 3 negatives, the first 2 when I multiply are going to be a positive, and when I multiply the 3rd one, it's going to get my answer to be negative as my final answer. So the next one, we have -1 times -2 times -3 times -4. So we have 4 negatives, which if you multiply them all together will get you a positive. And then lastly, we have -16 divided by 4. So we have a negative divided by a positive. So it's going to give us a negative. So multiplication for 1 through 4, or 1 through 3, and then we're going to divide. We have to use our multiplication rules. So a positive times a negative will get us a negative. So 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. Negative 11 times negative 4, a negative times a negative gives us a positive, so it's going to be 44. A negative 3 times a positive 8, so negative times a positive will give us a negative, which gives us negative 24. We are also going to divide, and we can use those same rules that we use for multiplication. So positive 28 divided by negative 4 gives us negative 7. We will continue with those division problems, and we can use the same rules as multiplication. So negative 72 divided by negative 9 gives us positive 8. And then 36 divided by negative 3 will give us negative 12. And then these will be using our variables. So it's going to be a times b when a equals negative 2 and b equals 4. So it's going to be negative 2 times 4, which gives us negative 8. And then b divided by c, and b is 4 divided by negative 1, which gives us negative 4. For number 9, we will do negative 6 squared, which using expanded form is just negative 6 times negative 6. Since it's a negative times a negative, we'll get a positive answer of 36. For number 10, we will do negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, because it's negative 3 to the third power. I'll start by multiplying those first two negative 3's and get 9, and then 9 times negative 3 is negative 27.